Alrighty, we are here in World of Warships. We are on the map Trap, and I'm in my Tier 10 cruiser, the Des Moines. It's a fairly even matchmaking game. They have an advantage and we have an advantage, but all in all, pretty consistent. I'm recording this audio after the fact, so I do know the outcome of the game, so I'm not going to spoil it, but it is a nail biter. I spawned basically at the furthest northeast, so I feel like I have very little choice as to where I can go. Usually on this map, if I'm spawned kind of in the middle, I'll go AB. Usually, I feel like I got better angles and better opportunities to do damage without being spotted. But being all the way up here, I have no choice as to where to go. Going around this way, kind of behind this island, to take advantage of cover so I can move into sea without being spotted at all. Trying to support my gearing, and I'm kind of noticing now, I got a Donskoy and North Carolina coming up with us. The Missouri chose not to support, which, I don't blame them. Usually AB makes more sense, but sometimes I get pretty good results from coming around this island and radaring any destroyers that move into sea. We'll see this match if it ends up working out. But right now, I'm kind of doing something that I really shouldn't be doing. I'm getting kind of involved in chat. I'm reading and I see something about a destroyer having smoke instead of repair, and I didn't really catch it all, but I'm still going to interject my opinion about it. And it kind of causes some confusion and it just distracts me. So it kind of, in the end result is I push in and I get pretty badly hammered. And there in chat, someone saying is asking for reasoning, and I'm kind of involved in chat now. I'm still trying to angle my ship and kind of keep an eye out, but I definitely should have been paying attention more to the game than chat. Yeah, you can see I just put in chat, it's better, but I didn't realize exactly what I was advocating for. So now that my radar bloom is almost encapsulating the entirety of C, I figure I'll pop it to catch the destroyer that's still in here. You can tell because C is still marked red. I figure at some point now I'll be spotting him, but the dude was smart, and he is, I think, kind of right at the edge where the lion is at, and he decided to bail than to stay and, fight at Des Moines, which is fairly smart. He kind of forced me to get caught out here, because now I have an Alabama and a Charles Martel on my bow. I have a lion aiming at me and a Henry IV and now a Neptune firing from smoke. And at the moment, I was expecting the lion to fire HE, and I was fully anticipating a salvo right as I started turning, and I noticed that armor piercing shots, and for a second I had a very small heart attack, but I realized that no, it's actually in fact a Neptune shooting at me. So hadn't the lion been shooting AP at a cruiser like he should be, I most likely would have died right there. So here I am, half health already, just trying to get the hell out of the cap circle. I used my repair after that fire burned all the way through, and I'm just trying to survive and still do some damage, hopefully put some fires on that lion, and just kind of get the hell out of here, because it's not at all good for my health. Now that I've fallen back just a little bit, the DM Donskoy is starting to take most of the heat since he's closer, and it looked like he stayed broadside for just a little too long, so he's getting shot at. The Neptune is still shooting at me. Something just hit him with AP a little bit ago, and you saw he got pretty badly chunked, so his death is sort of going to save me, because hopefully that's not too much of a spoiler, but it's kind of obvious. He is not going to make it through. because it almost looks like he's gonna run into that island. So since that island that it looks like both those ships are gonna ram into is now between the line and me, I have switched targets to this New Orleans, which makes more sense. I'll be able to do more consistent damage on him and just rack up the points. Those two friendly ships are still... Take that back. The Donskoy's dead. The North Carolina is now going to be getting shot at entirely. While I pepper this New Orleans. And New Orleans, I'll give him some credit. He tried shooting AP at me as I was showing a decent amount of broadside. I'm not 100% sure he would have gotten citadels, but it would have been... That makes sense. I'm not going to hound him for that. So, at this point, I had about 51k damage as I start shooting at this line, and I'm checking my detectability range, and I'm noticing the line is right at the border. So, if I just continue falling back, I should be able to disengage, kind of wrap around, and end up kind of taking cover behind the island and shooting at them as they go from C to B. But I want to take advantage of the time that I'm unspotted to kind of kill a little bit of time and get another repair, so that if anything happens, you know, I misposition myself and I end up getting spotted and I take a nasty shot, I won't die. I want to go from 24-ish thousand that I'm at right now to, you know, whatever it would be, like 30,000, 29,000. You know, that's enough to survive one decent salvo. So, while I'm kind of killing time, I'm going back and looking through what chat's been saying just to keep up to see, you know, is there someone raging? Is someone trying to call out strats? Because it's always really important to just stay in communication, which it's kind of ironic that I say that, since I was misunderstanding what our Combaros was saying and what someone else was saying. So, I'm getting kind of clarification right now as to what people meant, and I'm typing in chat for what's kind of too long. It's on the edge of, you know, just wasting time being the potato at the border, but pretty soon I'm gonna, you know, turn back and get back into the fight now that my repair is back up. So I'll hit that and make my way back. This isn't actually, I'll kind of break the fourth wall. I didn't realize until later on, but I'll just call it out now. There's that Charles Martel that's, you know, AFK, and once I realize it, I get pretty disappointed, and I'm fairly confident at that point that this is going to be a loss. You know, like, he'll be a point gain for them, and we'll lose points. And even though we have control of A and B right now, I'm kind of thinking, you know, this game is going to end. Like, it's not looking great, you know. To be fair, right now it doesn't look that bad, but it can take turns, and, you know, we'll lose a guy, and then it'll just snowball, you know. Suddenly it'll be, you know, 9 ships shooting at 8 ships, and then we'll lose another guy, and then it's 9 versus 7, and it just kind of goes from there. So, yeah, just something to kind of look out for. Tides will turn, you know. But I've begun making my way back to the battle. I want to kind of prioritize this lion. I'll admit I do have a bit of a vendetta against Royal Navy battleships. I kind of hate them, but, you know, wargaming will do what wargaming does. He does go unspotted, unfortunately, so I can't continue hitting him. So I take some blind shots at this Alabama, kind of going off of where his name tag is at. But lion comes back up. He's a better target. I'm also kind of looking at the map, and I'm seeing this Tirpitz. The last time he was spotted, his bow was aiming straight for the gap in between those two islands at D9. So I'm half expecting him to either get spotted coming towards me, or I'll just spot him outright as he's come around the island. So he, I'm assuming, saw where I was last spotted and is now seeing a whole bunch of shells fly over this island. So he's wanting to come and intervene and stop me from doing that. And I pumped my radar, thinking, by now he's probably closed the gap, and I'm seeing him. And for a second it looked like he was going to turn back, but now he's turning around towards the gap. So I'm changing my attention to him, because if I was caught broadside, he has the weapons to maybe not delete me, but definitely cripple me. Maybe get a citadel or two, which would be very bad for me. Kind of deciding now, what ammo should I use. If he's comes around and he's turning, I'll probably want to just shoot a superstructure with HE, but if he stays broadside, I'll pepper him with AP, because at this range, my AP will definitely do damage. So I shoot, see he's kind of broadside, I'll do one salvo, and if he doesn't start turning, I'll just continue peppering him with AP, because that was, what, 4,900? Yeah, almost 5,000 HP in that one salvo. So I'll just continue hitting him, and I'm right on the edge of where his main guns might get citadels on me. I'm not perfectly angled. I'm trying to keep all my guns on him in the meantime, in between salvos. But I'm just, yeah, right there. That was a pretty good shot. If I take a couple more of those, I'll be dead. But it's a double-edged sword. When I do take damage, my reload does become shorter, so my DPM goes up. So I'll just continue hammering him. He's 5.2, so his torpedoes shouldn't be able to hit me. So I'll just, keep it coming, and I end up taking him out. I don't know what my damage was before that, but it's 130,000 now, and I'm turning in. And here, yeah, so he launches torpedoes, but technically, since I was sailing away, they should really never be able to reach me. So, yeah. Now I'm going to basically do the same thing. Close in on the island and hopefully shoot over him. And get shots on, Alabama, Neptune, whoever spotted, really. Yeah. So I'm noticing now, kind of reading the mini-map. Alright, Alabama's coming towards me. It's more than likely he was getting yelled at in chat by the Turpits. Hey, there's a Des Moines over here. We got to take him out. Yeah. And then there I am in chat saying, survived that onslaught at sea. Took out a Terp solo. What can my team claim that they've done? And I'm basically just, I'm being a bit of an asshole, to be honest. I'm still anticipating a loss, despite the fact that we're up on points. Seems like they're beating us at B, while I'm over here trying to just survive at what some people might call our spawn, and might claim I'm not doing anything, which is fair, It kind of does look like that. So I pumped that raider because I was anticipating the Alabama to come towards me, and I wanted to get a couple shots in before he actually had line of sight on me. So me looking up the scoreboard didn't happen in game. That was when I was recording my replay, because I realized when I was recording it that the guy who said in chat that I deserve a ribbon is actually this same Alabama here that's coming around. So yeah, I don't know, he might be cursing in chat after we see what happens. So same kind of scenario, although entirely different, because it's in Alabama, and I'm shooting HE at him because he's right on the verge of being too far, and it seems like he's starting to very slowly turn away from me. So I'll just continue peppering him with HE. I'd rather just have consistent damage than the one-off chance of doing massive AP damage, and I take a somewhat of a hefty hit, 7,000 and on damage. So I'm definitely respecting his guns more than the Turpits, despite the fact that we're further away from each other. Yeah. So he's turning back in as I'm kiting away, trying to just keep the gap somewhat open in hopes that, his dispersion gets unlucky for him and lucky for me, and just the further we are from each other, the harder it is to land shots. Uh, it's a little harder for him since his reload is much longer. If he can't land a shot, then it's, 20 odd, almost 30 seconds until he can shoot again. For me, at 10,000 damage, my reload is somewhere along the lines of 3.8, 3.9 seconds, and I'll just keep running HE. This thing's a DPM Monster. I'm able to just keep firing and get fires, just get, that's 462 right there, 900, 1,000. I'll just continue raining down damage. And since I'm bow on now, is any shots that do land on me are likely to just bounce. So yeah, I got the high caliber through that. I'm now at 195,000, and I'm in chat again, being a prick, I'll admit it, because I did notice that Charles Martel was AFK at that moment, and I'm just saying, like, man, I hate teams. Like, if there was a battleship that was, got 3 kills or was doing significant damage like me, we probably would have already won it, So I'm kind of just dejected at this point, waiting for a loss, because I'm reading the map and I see a lion at B, Charles Martel at B, and Charles Martel's fast. He's a French cruiser. He'll be going into A, and I'm half expecting to die from this Neptune. He can smoke, he can radar, and I'm only at 7,800, so I'm kind of expecting to just either eat an unlucky torp, or just not angle enough and end up getting citadeled. So I'm still half expecting a loss, but I've loaded AP for him and he sails right here, broadside. That's 5 citadels, 7 and a kill, and he only managed to shoot off 1 turret. And I'm in chat going, bruh, like, really? Like, you knew I was here, but you didn't react. So he ends up, allowing us to get more points. We transfer some points between teams, and now this Conqueror and I are able to take C. He's making note that, the dude was probably running away from him, so he was more occupied with the Conqueror than he was thinking of me. So it gave me the chance to just blow him apart, Can't mess with Des Moines AP. It'll rip you apart, especially on British cruiser. So I haven't really done the math at that point in game, whether or not we'll be able to win with just this one capture point. I believe the Conqueror has already commented that if we cap this, kill the Neptune, we should technically win. But I think at this very moment in game, I'm kind of doing the math in my head, like, we're going to cap right now. We have 900 points, so at the exchange rate of, for every 100 points we get, they get 100. I'm doing the math and realizing, oh, they'll have, 900 odd points by the time we win, as long as none of us die. So there I am in chat going, actually, no, we're fine. We'll manage to win. It won't be a guns blazing win, but we're gonna win. So I'm kind of not wanting to turn all the way around and risk getting spotted by the Charles Martel, since we don't know exactly where they're at, and can't underestimate the speed of the Charles Martel. So I'll choose instead to just come up and snuggle next to this island and wait out till the end of the game. 227,000 damage, 4 kills, high caliber. It's not a game you want to throw in the end by getting caught out in the middle of the ocean by a fast cruiser like that. So I'll just wait it out. It's 30 odd seconds till the end of the game. I'm really happy with the result. I say in chat, anyone have any tips for back pain? Because I do feel like I kind of carried the team. Did my share of damage, did my share of kills, carried that AFK Charles Martel. Sometimes it's just what you got to do, and there's just those guys that don't load in or whatever. So I ended up with a very happy result. I had a good time with it in the end with the victory. So uh, hope someone was entertained. I'll catch you next time.